Save the cheerleader. Save the... Hang on, no, that's not it. Oh, yeah. Listen to the kid in the school uniform. Save the world. So the day has finally come. I'm going to be reviewing Umbrella Academy Season 2. It's taken me a while, I know, but I'm going to be doing it today. Before I get into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more TV and film analysis. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you listen to the podcast every Monday. It's also on audio apps. My friend Conrad goes through Dark episode by episode. It's really funny, all the theories he comes up with. Give it a check out. I'm sure you'll like it. Right, okay, so the Umbrella Academy. Why did it take me so long to see Season 2? Well, I'm just going to be plain. It didn't grip me as much as Season 1. Season 1 didn't, I'm not going to say it overly gripped me, but I've said before, I enjoyed it much more than I thought I would. Now, the problem is, I don't feel Season 2 upped the game. Now, definitely, Season 2 was maybe just as enjoyable, and there was definitely aspects to it that I really, really enjoyed a lot more than Season 1, but it didn't grip me anymore. And it's not that I didn't enjoy it. I did enjoy it, but it's just that it wasn't binge-worthy to me. My wife and I, at the end of every episode, would look at each other and just think, nah, let's just call it at 1 for today. We never actually wanted to watch 2, 3, 4 in a row, and to be honest with you, I forced myself to watch the last 2 in a row because I just needed to get it over with. Having said that, I like the way it ended, and there definitely is some scope going forward, but I'm not going to mention that now. I'll mention that in the spoiler section. So the first half, as usual, will be spoiler-free, and then I'll move into the spoiler section. So if you haven't seen Season 1, which I don't know why you'd be watching this video if you haven't, it's a superhero show, basically, centering around a family made for Netflix, and each of the family have a different ability, and they fight crimes. Well, they did fight crimes as a teenage crime-fighting team called the Umbrella Academy. They've since now moved into adulthood. There's a lot of family drama going on. They all sort of have daddy issues in a way because their father, who adopted them all, Reginald Hargreaves, I'm sure he didn't treat them very well. As we learned in Season 1, didn't treat Vanya, who's number 7, very well at all. And she was actually the cause in Season 1. Now, this is spoilers for Season 1, but if you're watching this review, you have to know they're coming. So Vanya actually caused the apocalypse in at the end of Season 1. And I enjoyed the way it ended up being the moon that caused that and stuff like that. It was different than what I thought was going to happen. However, in this one, it sets it up very much the same again. They have to prevent the apocalypse. Now, I wasn't against that. That was actually a pretty good frame for the series, I thought. You know, the first season was very successful at doing that, so why not do it the second time? The problem with that becomes that I was thinking the whole time I was thinking, this really shouldn't come down to, in this first season, the same way it did in the first season. It shouldn't come down to, like, they all think they're going to change it, but they cause it. Now, whether it does or not, I'll mention in the spoiler section, but that was my big fear in those first beginning episodes. So how does the series start? The series starts with all of the siblings being dropped into different years within the 60s. So they traveled back in time after the apocalypse, well, just as the apocalypse was happening in the present, I suppose, or the future. And they all landed in different years in the 60s. They're all doing their own thing. Luther who's number 1. He's a bare-knuckle boxer now, very Snatch-esque, and they even used the song Golden Brown at one point, a very direct reference to Snatch. There's also Vanya is living on a farm, and she actually has forgotten everything. Very convenient, because she wasn't very happy with the rest of them in the last season, was she? She's forgotten who she is. Obviously, she's also forgotten that she has powers, so she has to sort of slowly learn that again, as usually happens with TV series. Like, they have to be reset in some way. There also is Diego, who is the knife-throwing guy. I found Diego completely boring in Season 1. I didn't like Diego whatsoever. He did have a little bit of a redeeming part in the first season when he decided not to kill Hazel. I did enjoy that aspect of his character development, but overall, I didn't think he got much. In the second season, he starts off in a mental institution because he's trying his hardest to stop Kennedy, JFK, getting assassinated. Now, I'm going to tell you, at the start of this series, I still didn't like Diego, and I thought, geez, I haven't really done much with this character to make me like him. But as the season went on, he sort of becomes a fanatic in terms of he really, his whole life is just focused on let's stop JFK getting killed. And there was, maybe it wasn't intended to be like this, but I was laughing out loud at certain moments of that because he would just always mention it at the wrong time. I just found it absolutely hilarious sometimes. As well as that, there's Allison has become sort of wrapped up in the Black Civil Rights movement of the '60s, and she's married to a prominent figure within that movement. And what happens with that, I should talk about in the spoiler section. But anyway, they're all put in different areas. Oh yeah, also Klaus, the one who can commune with the dead. Klaus is now a cult leader, so that was pretty interesting. And he has used Ben, so his dead brother Ben, who he sees the ghost of. Ben lifts him up and he levitates and he becomes a cult leader because of this. I did like that. It was pretty funny. So the series overall, I like the way that they leaned into the time travel. I like the way that we were in the '60s for the vast majority of this series. I like the way that really set it apart from the first series. It really sort of, it set it apart. It made it a lot different. It meant that it was a period piece, so everything was a little bit more interesting looking. I know in the first series, even though it was modern day, they had a lot of period props. They had a lot of period cars, even though they were modern day. Everything had a little sort of a bit aged quality to it in the first season, whereas this is properly aged now because it is in the '60s. So it's got a different look. It's very visually pleasing. I like the cinematography. The fight choreography was very good. There's a few fight scenes which are really exhilarating, really, really great to watch. Overall, I enjoyed it, but I just didn't find it gripping. I didn't find it gripping enough to really drag me in. The character development, it was still there. There was a lot of, because they're centering so hard on time travel. There was a lot of different characters trying to change the past or trying to affect it in some way to make what they wanted to happen or make things to prevent things. I enjoyed that aspect to it, as I love time travel, so I did enjoy that aspect to it. So I'd imagine moving forward, I'm still gonna give season 3 a fair go. I did enjoy the show, but it's not a binge worthy show for me. It's not one that when season 3 comes out, I don't think I'm gonna watch it all in the weekend. So if that's not what you want from a TV show, if that's not what you want from a TV show, if you want a TV show that you will want to binge the whole time, maybe this one's not for you. However, I do know a lot of people have binged it and have enjoyed it that way. Right, there's not much more I can say except for that it was good. Wasn't better than the first season in my opinion. I'm sure some people will say it was. Maybe the fact that it was in the '60s, maybe that pushed it into being better than the first season. Yeah, maybe it did actually, just a little bit. But it definitely wasn't a huge jump up. It definitely wasn't. It definitely wasn't. I saw a few people saying Netflix is really looking for their Harry Potter or their Avengers, or they're looking for their big franchise. And someone I saw this on a Reddit thread, I think, and someone commented saying, "Well, they've got the Umbrella Academy." No, they don't. The Umbrella Academy is not going to be that huge franchise. Maybe it will be. But I don't get that impression. I think maybe The Witcher will. The Witcher will maybe be that big franchise for them. I think they're also working on the Last Airbender series. That could be the big franchise for them. There's a few other things. I think they're also doing The Last of Us. I think they're doing a Last of Us project. So there's a lot of stuff that could be that big franchise for them. Like Stranger Things is a big franchise for them. I do not think the Umbrella Academy is going to be any more than one of those shows where everyone watches it when it comes out and then they sort of just forget about it. If you think differently, just comment below and let me know. So I'm going to get in the spoiler section now. Because there isn't much more I can say without spoiling things. Okay, so if you haven't seen it, check out now. Right. So, first thing I want to talk about. I did enjoy, and I really thought it was very moving and very powerful. Some of the civil rights storylines. The fact that Allison was involved in that. Now, I will say from the outset, I don't know if it was treated with respect. I felt watching it that it was treated with respect, because one thing that I was worried about was that her powers were going to sort of insinuate that they got a huge boost in the civil rights movement because of her powers. And that didn't happen. And I'm so glad that didn't happen. As soon as I started watching, I was really just crossing my fingers and just hoping, please, 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 do not let powers in this show be the reason why black people have the same rights as white people in America. That would have been horrendous. And they didn't do that, which I'm very, very pleased about. So I feel that it was, in that way, it was treated with respect. Of course, if you're someone from the black community and you don't feel it was, well, then just let me know. But as an outsider, it felt, and I'm not even American, so I'm an outsider in more than one way. Let me know. I felt like, due to the fact that it wasn't superpowers, like they didn't interfere in any way. It was just sort of shown. It felt respectful to me. But also I really thought the really powerful scene, the sit-in protest in the diner, where all the white people behind were just like screaming and saying, "Get out, get out, get out!" And the black people were just sitting there not moving. That was very powerful to me, and all I could think of for both the black actors and the white actors, how uncomfortable would that scene have been to shoot? Maybe it wouldn't have been. Maybe they were all just very professional on the day. But I thought to myself, that would be very uncomfortable, and I wouldn't want to be having to act in that scene. Definitely not. But that was very good. But also, just to build upon me talking about the fact that I thought it was respectfully handled, when they did actually start having Allison use her power, that power, I'm telling you now, that power is so overpowered. That's why she keeps getting her throat cut. That's why she keeps like losing her voice, because it's too overpowered. Like, if you just say, "I heard a rumor," and then make them do anything. Like in the first scene of the show, "I heard a rumor that your head exploded," or whatever, and the guy's head exploded. Like, is there no limit to what this power can do? So whenever we started seeing her using it more and more, I like that. They couldn't have had it in season 1 because it's just too easy to get rid of. It's just too easy to get rid of everything. And they successfully negated her in season 1 by getting her throat cut, which really fit with the storyline. And in season 2, like, it's good that she has this sort of feeling that she doesn't want to. She doesn't feel morally right about rumoring people, because if she didn't have that as a character and she just wanted to do it no matter what, it really is overpowered. Like, it's crazy. But at the same time, it would be pretty fun to see her just going around and do what she wants. And she did that for a little bit in this series. Okay, next thing I want to talk about in Diego in a bit more detail. When he started going about JFK and running to tackle his father and stuff, I found that hilarious. I was just bursting out laughing every time Diego. Sort of the second half of the season, every time Diego was talking about JFK, it was like a joke that went on too many times that then I eventually started finding it funny. Do you know? I thought it was funny. I enjoyed that. But talking of Diego, his new love interest is I can't remember the character's name. Anyway, this is a woman who was adopted by the handler, and there seems to be some evil hijinks going on there in terms of the handler is creating her own team of superheroes through sort of going and getting them. I'm sure she's got maybe a couple of them. I sort of got the impression that it sort of is Reginald Hargreaves against the handler in a sort of Adam and Eve from Dark kind of way. So I'm interested to see in season 3 whether there's more into that, because I know at the end of season 2 they go to a different dimension. So does that mean that we're not going to see the handler again, or can the handler travel dimensions too? Is there going to be a new handler? It is intriguing. There is a lot of good questions open. I did like the dynamic between the handler and her adopted daughter. I did enjoy that dynamic to a certain extent. I thought it made sense when it was revealed that character had powers. I thought it made sense that, because I was saying in my last review, where are all these other people? Like, where are all the 40 whatever people who were born on the same day in '89 that all apparently they probably all have powers? I was thinking, where are they? And I'm so glad we got one. So we got one. I'm sure we'll get more because I think the handler is going to start recruiting more. So I was glad to see that. The fish guy. What was that about? A fishbowl man. Yeah, he was pretty good. I like that she put him in the fishbowl, but I'm pretty sure. Like, I've just bought a couple of fish for my son, and I'm pretty sure that fishbowl was that the handler put him in was far too small for that fish. That is cruelty. That's cruelty. And even if that fish actually has a proper working, like, human like brain, so that's cruelty. Although that did actually make me think as well. The intelligent animals in this show. I showed a bit of like Pogo getting trained and stuff, and he got like the shot in the heart and all. It showed a bit of that, but what's the point of Pogo? What's the point of Pogo? You sound like a philosopher. What is the point of Pogo? What's the point of him? Yeah, he's cool. Yeah, he gives the poster of the show a cool look. It adds an extra sort of otherworldliness to the show. But is there a reason for Pogo? Like, other than just the aesthetic of it, and just to show that Reginald Hargreaves is doing experiments? I'm not sure. Maybe we'll find out about the fish guy also came from the same place as Pogo. Maybe they're I don't know. Because we didn't really. Well, maybe I'm just stupid, but I don't think we've learned about the background of that fish guy. So I'm interested to see if they ever go into that. But the handler ate him, so I doubt it. Anyway, yeah, it's a crazy show. Like, it does get more and more crazy. It is very much a show that revels in being like crazy and over the top, and it's meant to be like that. It's meant to be like that. Having said that, I mentioned the fight choreography a little bit in the spoiler-free section. I love the fight between Number 5 and Luther whenever they were fighting around Luther. The two Number 5s, older Number 5 and younger Number 5, they were fighting around Luther. I enjoyed that scene. I thought that was really, really well shot. And I also enjoyed the scene where Number 5 went and killed all of the board members. That was also really well shot, that fight scene. Well, that wasn't really a fight scene. That was more of an assassination scene, but you know what I mean? So, yeah. Overall, interesting. Didn't grip me. Am I going to watch season 3? Yeah. I'll watch season 3 because I'm intrigued. This whole idea of a new dimension now. I thought, to be honest with you, I thought that was coming because, and I don't know why I thought this was coming, but I just didn't think. I thought, I don't know. Maybe I was getting so much dark vibes that I thought that's why I thought it was coming. But the reason why I think I thought it was coming when Ben wasn't able to escape Vanya's mind or wherever he was, right? And he disintegrated and Ben was no longer able to be a ghost or anything. I thought to myself, I don't think that character's gone. So there has to be another Ben. That's so I didn't think there was going to be a parallel world maybe, but I thought Ben would have to come back or there'd be another Ben in some way. I didn't think Ben would just be gone. And I don't know why, that was just an instinct. I just didn't think he would be gone. But turned out to be an instinct that was correct. Right, anyway, this video is getting very, very long. I'm not very concise when it comes to just rambling about TV. So I'm sure I've missed an awful lot. If you want to get into discussion with me in the comments, I'd love to have a chat with you. Let me see. Yeah, I've hit most of my points. I think one thing I will say about the time travel before I go is very messy, but it's okay. This is a show that very much revels in being, over the top comic booky. So I was happy enough with the time travel. However, I'm not even going to attempt to sit down and try and get through, line up the rules and stuff like that. Like how the older Number 5 we saw went went back to 2019, or I think it was 2019, how he went there the same way that our number 5 did, even though all the changes happened. I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try. It's comic booky, it's fun, it's quirky, it's, that's what it is. So subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments how you feel about the Umbrella Academy. Yeah, listen to the podcast on Mondays, and I think that's all from me now. I'm going to be releasing another Dark questions video in the next week or so, because I think there's a lot of questions that were left under that video, actually. A lot of people asked new questions, and I've also got a load of questions from my old video that I still haven't answered yet, so look out for that. Also, this Saturday, there is a special episode of the After Dark podcast dropping. We are going to be doing our first film review, so check that out. We're both... Conrad and I are both very excited to be delving outside of Dark. The reason why we're doing it is because there's no question and answers video, and because everything went well with the birth of my son, went well, by the way, I'm actually able now to record an episode, but we don't have any questions. So instead of doing that, we thought, you know what, let's just do a one-off film. So we are actually going to be reviewing a film. I'm not going to let you know what film it is, because I haven't got Conrad's permission to do that, but it's going to be exciting. I think it's not going to be a highbrow thing like Dark is. It'll be a bit more fun. But tune into that and see what you think of us as film reviewers as well as just dark discussionists, I suppose. Just rabbiting about Dark every week. Anyway, that's going to be me. Look out for that on Saturday. Catch you later.